Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday Business Booster Call on tonight being the 6th of May, 2025. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight is all about MannaFest, the after effects of it. So I've got a few of those who joined me in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, at the Speedway there. So we'll be going around and asking a few questions of them. But before we make a start with that, let me actually congratulate our winners of 2024, sorry. So we have Karen Dennis, who actually made our Business Builder of the Year for 2024. So a big congratulations to you, Karen. Well done. Also on the call, we have Ilse van der Linde, who was our Rookie of the Year for 2024. So huge congratulations to Ilse. Well done. And who else do we have here? I think
Bella and Vincent, are they here?
They're not here yet by looks of things, but we had Bella and Vincent, or Bella,
only
who
Bella.
earned, or who received our Giving Spirit Award, and she was actually nominated as our global winner as well. I can't, not winner, but what's the word? Where you give
the global winner. So
yeah,
each country has a person who wins for that country, and then she actually won it globally, which is pretty cool.
She's a huge honor. So congratulations to her as well.
Well done, Bella.
Well done, Bella. If you're watching the replay, Bella,
yes.
Well done.
And also Margaret.
And Margaret,
yes, and Margaret. Margaret, you have received the top associate enroller for 2024. So that was a huge thing for her as well. So congratulations,
well done,
Margaret, if you're watching. Brilliant. Before we get into the questions of our participants of MannaFest, I wanted to go through the brand new promotion that has launched since MannaFest, which is the 3010 promotion. So I'm just going to share my screen and we'll make a start with that. Alrighty, so this is our Fast Track 3010 promotion. It has started as of now. Okay. And it will go for 3 months in total. So that is May, June, and July. The way it works, well, it just states here, it's a fresh way to reward you for enrolling new associates and customers. So this is for both associates and customers, doesn't matter which one. And it happens as it shows between the 1st of May 25 until the 30th of June 25. And it's on all qualifying purchases by new enrollments, included those made during the month of their enrollment, so their first month, the day that you enroll them, as well as the following month. Okay, so that is if you enroll them now or next month, being June, you would have the following month to also receive this promotion on. However, in July, given that that's the final month, you'll receive it for that month alone. Okay. There is now what we weren't aware of before, but there is actually caps on the amount of their order. Okay, so the cap for Australia is 2,400, New Zealand is 2,500, and for Singapore it's 2,000. And this is on individual orders. So I would say that given that they've specified its individual orders, if you were to place 2 orders in the same month, both equaling of 2,400, I would say that you should be receiving the bonus or the promotion on both of those orders up to that amount. Okay. When it gets over those caps, the remaining amount, so if it's 2,500 for Australia, there's $100 over the cap. So that $100 section or part will be calculated at the FOB standard, which is your first order bonus standard. Okay, so up to the 2,400, it's this 30-10 rule, and then after that you'll be the 20%.
Cool.
Does that make sense?
I hope I get an individual order of 2,400.
Sure, yes.
It'd
be lovely if all of us did that.
Everyone up it.
Yeah. And if it's over that, just place another order. Okay?
Yeah.
And Drew, just to be clear, the second month it's on the subscription order.
Correct. Yes. So yeah, it explains that a bit down the track. But yes, it's on your enrollment order as well as the following month. So the enroller earns, so this is how it actually works. The 30/10 is that the enroller of the new person will earn 30% on the volume generated by that new associate or new customer in their first 2 months of from enrollment. Okay, so that's the enrollment month. So the first month you bring them in, and the following month, you as the enroller will earn 30% of that volume.
Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And it's, as you can see, that bottom section, it says the enroller earns on every product purchase their new associate or customer makes in the month they enroll and following month. So it's got every highlighted, because I would say that if you were to place their first order and forgot a couple of products, or by the end of the month they wanted more products and you place another order, that will also be included in this total. Okay, so both orders will be calculated and added up, and then you'll get the 30% on both of those.
Cool.
And then there's also the upline benefits. So the 10%, or the 10 out of the 30/10, is for the enroller's enroller. So the enroller's enroller earns the 10% on the same product purchases over the 2-month period.
Oh, they get it for 2 months too. That's cool.
Yeah. Yep. So you as the enroller will earn 30%, and then your upline, whoever enrolled you, will earn 10% on those product orders. So a total of 40% on those 2 orders, basically, for a brand new person. Very cool. Existing associates, so anyone enrolled prior to the 1st of January this year, must have the minimum customer requirement activities that we've now implanted in the compensation plan. Okay, so that is, you have to have 2 active customers each month for you to receive this extra 10%. And then just to make sure everyone's aware, an active customer is a customer with a 50-point order in that month. Okay, so you need 2 customers, both with 50-point order, and then you will receive the 10%.
Cool.
And then there's the ongoing potential. So the standard compensation plan takes effect from the 3rd month onwards. And so during the actual promotional period, or for those first 2 months that you have the new person, no CV generated on new orders over fast track periods. So meaning that there won't be any other commissions paid from these orders. It's only being designated for the enroller and the enroller's enroller for those first 2 months. So FOB doesn't apply. So you don't get the extra 20% on a first order bonus. It's only the 30% and 10% for enroller. And then customers' orders will count towards the power seller tiers, but they won't generate additional power seller bonus, meaning that the PV will count for you to get to power seller 10 or power seller 15, but you won't actually be paid out of that amount.
And then that will kick in from month 3, yeah?
Correct. So from month 3, if you, the orders will then continue as the normal compensation plan. So they will count towards your power seller bonus, and you'll get the earnings out of that.
Cool.
All right. And then orders will apply towards business development bonus. So they're saying that for the business development bonus, you will get paid still out of the business development bonuses are set figures anyway. It's not dependent on those orders. Just you need to get to a certain PPV to then earn that amount. So that'll also count. Okay. So quick income. So associates can rapidly earn $300 to $500 per month with this promotion. Pretty cool. Enrolling just 3 new customers at $230 each can generate over $200 in commissions in the first month. How cool is that? And it's a straightforward model, encourages immediate action and quick team expansion. So we're going to see how that works. So if you were to enroll 4 new associates, each of them with $175 order each, that would add up to $700 in total. Out of that $700, you would earn $210 in commission in the 30%. If you also were to enroll 2 customers, both with orders of $150, that's a total of $300, being 90% or $90 commission payment. So all up, your four new associates and 2 customers have spent $1,000 and you've earned $300.
Very good.
Right.
If we then look into the second month, because don't forget this is their first month of enrollment as well as the following month, whatever their order is, it doesn't have to be an automatic order. It can be either an automatic order or a one-time order in the second month. You will still earn this 30-10%, 30-10 promotion on that order or those orders. So if you had the 6 new associates and new customers from your first month that you enrolled them, so we know that that was $1,000 total, which you would earn $300 again off those orders. But if that second month you also enroll 6 more new customers, each with a $175 order, which totals $1,050, you'd earn an additional $315 at the 30%. And then your enroller, your first 4 new associates that you enrolled in month 1 will then also earn, you will also earn $400 off them because you're their enroller. Clear as mud?
Yes.
Thank God for the picture.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Yeah. So if your first 6 people all order the same thing again, you'll earn 300. If you also enroll another 6, you'll earn an extra 315, and then you'll also earn on those first 4 associates.
Yeah.
If they
cool.
enroll someone.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Really good.
So imagine in your second month earning over $1,000.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think you'd definitely keep some business builders there.
Absolutely.
So just think of what's possible after promotion ends. Once the fast track period ends, the earning doesn't stop. So now the standard compensation plan takes effect. And not only do you keep earning on your personal enrollments, you also start earning on the increased enrollments of your downline, because they're going to be enrolling people to also get the 30%. And then hello, rank up bonus. And as you all know, we internally, Australasia, have started our rank up bonuses early. So at Gold Director now, you can start earning the rank up bonus. So don't forget that. And we also have our Silver Rush promotion at the moment. So don't forget, any new associates that reach Silver Associate in their first 2 full months from enrollment will get a one-off payment of $150.
Excellent.
And that is it.
Great.
Very good.
Thanks,
Perfect.
Drew.
No, my pleasure. Anyone's got any questions about any of that info?
I do.
Yeah.
Drew, is that just an Australian promotion or is
Nope.
it worldwide?
It's global.
So
Yep.
the 30%.
Except poor old South Africa. They didn't get it.
Yes. But that was their choice.
So the 30%, that's do you have to enroll in the same country, or even if you're enrolled in other countries, you still get the 30%?
No, so you'll still get the 30% as long as they're still doing the 30-10. Does that make sense? So they did tell us at the event. Do we remember? I think it was pretty much.
I think
Sure.
South Africa's not in
it, and neither is Korea.
I don't think Korea is either. No.
But I'm pretty sure everyone else was. But
if
let me just
we're-
double check those
so
countries.
If we're enrolling somebody in the US, that counts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Is
Yes.
all of this in the library? A copy of these slides?
I can put them up there. That's not a problem.
Please, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we've got any actual working documents. I don't know if that was sent through, but I would assume that there would be something. But yeah, I can definitely put the slides in there. That's easy as.
The slides are very explanatory. They're good.
Yeah,
They're good.
Mhm.
I might just turn it into a PDF then, and you can. It'll be the slides, but as a document.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Cool.
Awesome. Anything else?
No.
Don't
Nope.
think so.
Brilliant.
Who's already enrolled this month?
Yeah. Avalon, well done. So there's the 30% there.
One of the biggest first orders I think I've ever done too. I was like,
Oh, really?
get in
Oh,
there.
fantastic.
That's good timing.
Yes.
Thanks, Mumsy, for the three-way call, by the way.
Awesome. All righty. So that was the kind of the nitty-bitty bit that I needed to get across. Now we're going to talk MannaFest. Woohoo! Who's upset that they didn't make it? Yeah, Patsy, you missed out on a great week.
It was fun.
It was brilliant.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So I'm just going to ask each of our attendees. Oh, Bella, you missed out. We did congratulate you earlier for your Giving Spirit Global winner. So well done.
Well done,
Congratulated twice, Bella. You have to watch the replay.
I will. Thank you so much, everyone.
So what I wanted to do this evening was basically ask our attendees that made MannaFest two simple questions. First off being, what was something you learnt from your time at MannaFest? So Karen, I'm going to ask you first, if possible.
Oh, why did I have to always be first?
Because you were the first one in my list. Sorry. I'm just
okay. Well, we've already talked about the biggest thing that I learnt was about the multi-glycans. And I just like the whole expression. You know, the whole aim is to make multi-glycans as commonplace as multivitamins.
Yep.
You know, this becomes everyday language that I mean, everybody knows what multivitamins and multiminerals are.
Yep.
So that was the big thing. And I love the whole GRT thing.
GRT?
The glycan replenishment therapy. So you can Google that, and you know, that's a good thing to get people to Google too. There's just so much online about glycan replenishment therapy.
Yep.
And it's all this scientific stuff.
It's
and
good stuff
and
too.
It names all the sugars, exactly the sugars we've got in the ambrotos. You know, the names, the mannose, the N-acetylglucosamine, all the names are there. But of course, all that's online. They're trying to make synthetic ones, whereas we've got food. There's the big distinction. So we can use the science technology up there for people to be impressed, but say, well, we've got in a food form.
Yep.
And we were the original discoverers, you know. I mean, L'Oreal tried with their skincare to proclaim they'd discovered glycans and had to shut it all down and go synthetic when they found out we had the patent on the glycans. So yeah, so I'm pretty pleased about that because it's been one of the really difficult things, you know. I mean, I've trained people not to say Mannatech because people go on and Google and, you know, as what do they say? The internet's like a toilet that never flushes, you know, so can be all sorts of wrong things on there that don't serve our purpose.
Yep.
Whereas if people Google glycans, you know, there's so much good stuff.
Yep.
And I've already had a successful result with that. You know, someone just got totally fascinated by it. And so anyway, I loved that. And the best thing I loved that Dr. Nugent let me know, and because he's in the same decade as I am, which you all know anyway, that he's going to live now. He's found out because of the anti-aging of the glycans and using them correctly, that he can now live to 147. So I've upped my age from 120 now to 147.
Oh, good on you, Karen.
Which means I'm only halfway. How exciting.
And so, Robin, there must be some sort of actual test for him to have such a specific age.
Yes.
There is some sort of test that I guess is already
we'll find all that
scientifically.
out.
Yeah.
We'll find all that out. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they did make mention of like the glycan score website. It would probably be extended down the track to incorporate
that's good,
other
but
things.
there's no feedback yet, so we need to find out about that. I mean, it gives you an age, which I wasn't impressed with. I didn't
Maybe
like
a year older than I am.
some of the questions either.
Me too.
My score was 87, and then it's like glycan age 43, and I'm like, I'm only 42. How can my score be so high and I'm older?
I think Avalon has done that on everybody. Everybody that I've spoken to, it's done it with everybody. So that's why I say we need a proper scientific test, not
we need to know how to utilize it.
Yes.
Because sharing that, you know, I wouldn't want to share that because it doesn't really paint a good picture.
Doesn't tell you anything, really.
Well, that's it. It just tells you what they say your age is.
Yeah. which is older.
And they make eating fibre a prerequisite, which I don't agree with. So
Yep.
I didn't agree with that. Anyway,
but
anyway,
yeah,
that's an aside.
Yeah, it would be good to have somewhere on there where it says this, this score is because of this, and this.
Yeah.
And then you know where you can improve on and all that kind of stuff as well.
Absolutely.
So,
But the other thing I really loved was just getting to know a lot of the people from the other countries, particularly the South Africans. I feel we sort of have a bit of a
Common.
I don't know, a bit of a rapport with them, and we had a breakout night after the first day with the South Africans and Europe, which was mainly UK
Beautiful.
and some Netherlands people. So Europe's all one market. And it just was great. We just had, it was just inspiring. They've got a lot of presidentials in South Africa. And, we were all up on stage and anyway, it was just really nice to be with them. Do I finish off now or do I say the other thing? What energized
so
me?
I'll come back around with the second question.
Okay, sure. Okay.
Thank you. Sandy, you're up on next. What was something that you had learned from MannaFest?
Well, I suppose it's a bit like Karen, that the glycans can help you age, slows your aging down, and I think that's going to be a target market for me now to age, to instead of trying to be general and get anybody from any age. I think if I focus on the older age group, who are the ones that are worried about aging, well, once they get older, so the anti-aging was just, I like that.
And either Karen or you, Sandy, what do you want to shed some light on to why are we now going to multi-glycan replenishment therapy? What do we know what the reason behind going to that is, that new kind of down that track? Okay, Evelyn, would you like to answer?
Go on, Evelyn.
So basically, when we're in our 20s, you're at your peak age of having a healthy level of glycans, although with the current state of our food and environment, that might not be so great for some younger people now. Yep. By the time you get to 40, you're starting to go into the phase where your glycans aren't replenishing as well, and your levels are starting to decline, which comes in, and that's when people are starting to age. The visible signs of aging start, and all the signs of all the things that are associated with aging starts. Yes. And then by the time you get to 60, into your 60s age bracket, it's really started to decline. So unless you're replenishing the glycans that are missing, you are aging. And as long as you're putting them in, you slow the aging, and you don't age. You go backwards. Life, and you get younger and end up looking 20 when you're 60. Maybe not that.
And that's when he introduced that new word, inflammaging, which he talked about on Saturday as well. Inflammaging. So like in your 40s, they tell you that's when your eyesight can start to go. People start getting glasses, some people do, and then the aches and pains in the 60s, and stiff joints. I'd just like to say that I'm in my 70s and I have no pain, no aches, no joint issues. I'm not sore when I get out of bed, and I'm not on any medication. So, I'm living proof that this is true.
Yep.
Really. Because I've got plenty of clients my age who aren't the same as me. I'm working on them, but...
I must admit, Karen, I like to tell people that I'm not on any medication too. So I'm nearly 70, so once you get into that age bracket, people expect you to be on a whole lot of medication, and with everything I've been through, people still expect me to have been on some sort of medication, and I'm on nothing.
And I love we're amazing. We're amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, walking
living proof. Living proof.
Proves what the body can do.
With the emphasis on living.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Awesome. Sandy, was there anything else you were wanting to add to what you'd learned?
What I'd learned?
Yeah.
It was a little. I think I'm still processing it, because it was so much packed into 2 days, and as Karen said, just even associating with the people from other countries. The last day, Karen and I sat with a group of from England, had a great old chat with them, and learnt why they got into it and what they were doing. So it was really good. But yeah, the whole processing is still happening.
Yes. Yes, it was a lot to take in.
Yeah, but it was really good. Really, yeah.
The story sharing was one of the best things, though, wasn't it, Sandy?
Sorry?
Hearing other people. The story sharing is one of the best things. Yeah.
And because they couldn't share stories on the stage, so it was good to sit with people outside of that environment and hear their personal stories. And
Brilliant. Penny, over to you. What was one thing that you'd learnt from your week in Dallas?
Well, it's a bit hard, isn't it? Because we have to keep thinking of different things that haven't already been covered. So
it could be the same.
Actually, I'm going to go different. I'm thinking that I learned lots, but something that'll be a bit different is that how they're going to try and find a global ambassador in each country. And they've got, is it Fabian Rios?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Fabian.
Yes, yep.
And he's got a massive following. So they're trying to get the word of Mannatech out there in all sorts of different organic ways, but having a global ambassador, and he had his beautiful family there, to try and get a what's it called, a celebrity status, I suppose. So
Influencer. Yeah.
So there's something that we wouldn't have learned if we weren't there.
Correct. I wonder who they'll get as Australia. Do we have any? I guess you've got Nicole Kidman. We'll try and get her.
No way.
No.
Surely she's got
Maybe Chris Hemsworth.
Have you watched any of her movies lately?
Not lately, no. All right. Okay. I shouldn't have said that. Moving on.
I watched her in a movie on the plane coming home, and it was disgusting. I hope nobody could see what I was watching.
I think I started that and I switched it off because I was like, there could be children around.
Terrible. Terrible.
All right, Avalon, what was something that you learnt?
Well, mine, it was quite surprising for me, actually. I think at our last training day, I focused very heavily in my speech about sharing the products and the health side of things, which 100% super passionate about. But the big thing that I got out of it ties in with what Mum said about the multivitamin industry at the moment. It's a $54 billion a year industry. And by 2032, it's expected to be an $82 billion a year industry. So there's massive, massive growth. The majority of that industry are women who are in their 40s and above. That is 70% of that market, which means that the male market is extremely untapped in the glycan, in all sort of supplement industry. They probably take their sports drinks and stuff like that for their muscles, but there's a huge, huge market of men there that are untapped, and also if there's a $54 billion a year market for multivitamins already, the two top people in that are Centrum and Amway, and neither of those companies have got a hero product, and we have a hero product that nobody else has. And I mean, it's a huge industry. We just have to get into half of that market and we're going to be laughing. So I think I really got in my head the huge opportunity and the wave, or the wave is coming, and the potential to earn some money and to not feel bad about making money, because you can save people's lives from making money as well as with the products. Some people that got up and spoke were talking about how they were financially destitute when they started on the products, and that it's changed their lives and they have financial freedom. So it's not just about saving people from the health side of things, it's helping them and saving them from financially as well. So got a huge opportunity and a really cool product, a hero product. So I think it's an awesome time to be in this business. Very exciting. I've come back pretty fired up.
Yeah, good.
Well said, honey.
Yes, that was brilliant. Bella, on to you. What was something that you'd learnt from MannaFest?
So for me, I had a feeling that Mannatech had entered a new era this time, so which I could see from the conference because we saw a lot of new big leaders from different industries getting into Mannatech. The person that Penny mentioned, Fabian, if I remember correctly his name, so he's a movie star and he's a superstar. He is in that Latin community. He's a really, really absolutely big star. And I had a bit of like, searching about him. I was very shocked. Wow, how come this kind of such a big profile people, felt like this is where he should stay? And I thought I feel like, I actually underestimated Mannatech until I saw him joining. And then we also saw another entrepreneurs join Mannatech like recent like I guess like few years, like Perla, the speaker on the first day. She was absolutely the walking image of product. I was very, very amazed by her speech. And literally, she was a millionaire in other industry, but then she's now doing Mannatech business, and she was so serious about it. She got that mission why she's doing this business. And not only just those two people, we had so many other like big leaders started to join Mannatech. That was really, really an eye-opening for me. Start to feel like, oh, this is a new era, like, giant those big leaders jumping to Mannatech now. And in terms of the technologies, again, like GRT that people kept mentioning about it. So glycan replenishment therapy. So this is basically opening to so many more people. Previously, we were focusing on, we not tend to be like that, but we naturally go with those people who suffer from health issues or, here and there got troubles. That's why they look into glycans, including myself. But now we can open to anyone, whoever, like Dr. Nugent always said that anybody, as long as people are breathing, you need glycans. But I didn't know how to apply that. But with this GRT, we basically can let people know why they need to take glycans. So like earlier, Avalon mentioned, based on our age, how our glycans, the cell receptors decline. So that's how we need to replenish. So I believe this GRT will be opening to a lot more people, and that will bring Mannatech to another level. And then so they also talk about system. So the system of doing business. So like if there's no system, then basically the business is very hard to run. So which I always experience. But then what kind of system I should bring into my business, that is a big task for me as well. This time, Richard Brooks. Richard, he mentioned about this system. Mannatech developed like a new app, which is named Mannago. I know Australia, we haven't got that yet, but it started to roll out in different market, and that app absolutely opened up for new way to approach people, how to build up the trust, how to go with the genuine, authentic way to build up the trust. From there, people will be looking into what you're doing because they want to look into. It's not because we force them to go with. So it was a very different way to start the business. So Rucho, he said it's about changing the paradigm. The old way that we were doing business, we were always like, chasing up, forcing people, not forcing, but we were really, a desperate, conversation all the time. But
some people were forcing.
Sign here.
Yes.
Get your credit card out.
That's right. So this app will help us to, go with the genuine conversation naturally, make our business easier, easy to duplicate. So I'm looking forward to see that technology come to Australia soon as well. So that is a couple of points that I learned from this. There are a lot more, but it's
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bella. And yes, the app will be fantastic once we have it. I believe it's going to be a lot. If anyone used to use Mannatech Plus, which was kind of the first app that we brought in that Mannatech had built, it's going to be a lot along the lines of that. So it kind of it prompts you on when you should follow up with people and all that kind of. It makes it very easy. Christine, you're next in my firing line. What was something that you'd learned?
Hey, same as everybody else, but the social media marketing was really important for me because it's something that's out of my comfort zone. But what I loved about the way they did it was that they had a panel and people just spoke about how they did things. And I noticed that it wasn't so much about marketing a particular product. It was about marketing them as people to trust, so that when the hit came, you sort of felt like you could trust these people, and I completely did. In fact, I've got email addresses, as most of us did, get email addresses of all of them. They were so approachable, as if they owed Mannatech a favour for allowing them to be a part of it. It was really good. The other thing was, after being in the South for a week with Penny beforehand, the dress sense of some of the people in the United States is a little bit bizarre, to say the least. But when Mannatech put on a night and asked you to dress up, can I just say, Australia girls, we all looked beautiful, but the Korean women take it a step further. Their skin is like porcelain. So that's, for starters, that's a fabulous testimony for the product. Their presentation is flawless in that they are classy people, and their outfits were magnificent because obviously they've got money to spend because they're making money. So my point with that is we need to find some beautiful Korean people because they would represent us well, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Of course, it was a lot of fun. And it's great to see that it doesn't matter who comes and goes in this business. One thing is the same, and that is the science, the grounded people. Mannatech is Mannatech, and the Mission 5 Million program is great to be a part of.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Can I tell you what my take home was?
No, not yet. We're going back around after this.
Okay.
Alrighty, so I think Robin, you're the last one I've got here. I think.
Okay.
Yes. Robin, what was something that you'd learned?
Well, I learned a lot from Dr. Marcia, whatever her name was. Schaefer.
Yep.
Dr. Schaefer.
Yes. Schaefer. Yes.
She was very good. She talked a lot about infertility and so forth. And I know in my business, we've got 2 manna babies from mothers who hadn't been able to conceive for 10 years. So that was something that gelled with me when I listened to her say that. She talked about the very low sperm count in the world today. And the other thing she said about, which I found very interesting, was that in 120 days, there is a shift in the blood work. So that made me realise that when I introduce a new person, I need to get them to have their blood work done now, then start the product, and then 120 days, which is roughly your 3 months, get another blood work done, because that's roughly the turnover of one lot of cells. So that was a big thing for me to learn that afresh. And the other thing, which was very simple, and Dr. Nugent brought this out, he drew the thing like your spine and said that's like the manos in there. So that's our manopole, right? And then he drew ribs off the side and he said, these are your glycans. And I thought, what a very easy thing for people to understand, because it's visual. Look, you got your backbone down there, right? Then you've got your rib cage coming off it, or you look at your front, whichever way you want to look at it. And then there are all the glycans, and there's your manopole coming down the middle.
Yeah.
And I thought that's very simple and easy to be able to explain to someone. And I actually did it on Saturday night with a Vietnamese lady who could hardly understand English, but she could look at a drawing and she went, oh, now I see he work. So I think that's very, very interesting to see how that's working.
Yep.
If we take that. Yeah. And I really love the guy from England, that runner fellow, the 1,000 marathon. I think
Steve Edwards.
Yeah, that was something really, really beautiful. Very humble man, and he gave much praise to the product. And the other highlight for me, of course, was packing those things with you, Andrew. Put him in the box. Our wonderful line that we
production line.
Yes, we were doing great guns. I could have stayed there for 10 hours.
It was a lot of fun.
Second.
Certainly had a great We had it cranking, didn't we? Two
did.
funnels.
Yeah, once we got that second funnel in, production doubled. It was
skyrocket.
Yes. And once we had that little English character coming and filling
Nathan.
Nathan, he was fantastic.
Yeah.
So that was all just very, very encouraging. And after 23 years in Mannatech, it just made me realise I'm in the right place all the time.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that, Robin. I did, miss Vincent because he joined with Bella, but now he's back again. So Vincent, what was something that you'd learnt from MannaFest?
Yeah, this is our first MannaFest, so it's definitely memorable. I agree with a lot of other people that already said this, the GRE, the glycan score. We just tried it today, Bella and I. The age is interesting. I got 1 year older as well. I thought that I'd be younger, but apparently not.
Yep.
But this is a great tool, right? Like we always think about glycans as a health, but I see an opportunity where we can combine it with aging, with inflammaging, with healthy looking or healthy aging. Combine that with luminofaging. That's super powerful.
Perfect.
That's number one. And a lot of our customers actually, when we talk about glycan, they always ask, hey, like where we can test it, like how do you know that we're lacking one? And now we do have one, and a way to test it. And you know it's free. There's nothing mentioning about the brand, or it's another door opener in my opinion. Even if they want to get the paid one, there is another company as far as I know, but it's extremely expensive. So it's a good tool, so we can. The second one was, as much as it's a lot about social media, is a lot about business. One thing that was really resonating with me is about dream vision and personal development. And the two people that they are on top of my head straight away when we talk about that was Ray Robbins during his speech, and also Leonie van der Linde for her speech. It's all about breaking through, having a vision, and sometimes the biggest gain we have in this industry is not necessarily financial. Of course, we want it, the freedom, the time freedom, but one thing that's overlooked most of the time is the personal development, and that's what we came through, and that's another benefit of here. Ray always also mentioned, like, we need to go a lot but never cross the limit. We always need to go to near the limit but never cross the limit. If we cross the limit, be it the compliance, be it anything else, we lose track of our health. More often than not, then we're gonna go back down. So that's resonate really, really well with me. Something that I think Bella and I can learn. Last fun stuff that I learned was great new products, guys. I hope some of them will come to Australia. Coffee is amazing. I thoroughly enjoy it. The energy is interesting as well, and a lot of them I really hope that they come. Yeah, so.
Yeah,
that's good, Vincent. Thanks.
Well, you can't see, but I've got coffee.
Oh yeah,
coffee. I bought heaps.
I've tried the energy drink too, and it does. I did like 5 rounds of stairs, and it felt like I hadn't even started.
Oh really? Oh well, there you go.
Works.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome.
I must try that.
And I don't really like the taste, if I'm honest. It's a bit funny tasting, but it's
you get used to it,
like
though.
a punch, isn't it? But
it tastes a bit like cough syrup.
Yes. Yeah. I don't mind cough syrup though. That's all good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you everyone for your answers to what you've learned. Now I want to go around the table again and ask, what's your one takeaway from the actual event? So it could be something you've learned, a process that you're going to now implement into your business. And we're going to switch it up. Penny, you're first. What was your one takeaway from the event?
Oh gosh, there's so many takeaways.
Okay, well, give me a couple then. If you
No. You should, like Vincent said, turn your dream into a vision, turn your vision into a goal, turn your goal to a strategy, turn your strategy to a plan. So, get them to, because at the end of the day, my takeaway is use that dream and feed more children and go to an orphanage. That's my takeaway. I want to go to one of the orphanages and see the boxes get unpacked and feed children.
Yeah.
And to do that, I need a dream, vision, goal, strategy plan. There you go. How's that quickly in a nutshell?
Yeah, that's great.
Very good.
So next, in 2 weeks' time, at the next Business Booster, I'll ask what your plan is. There you go. I'm giving you a deadline now. Sandy, what was your one takeaway from the event?
Well, it's something that Karen has done before, and I used to do with Karen, and it's the third person, having that third person. Karen and I did it way back when I first started. If I had someone interested, I'd set up a call with Karen, and because she was a third person, and we sort of got away from that, and it sort of brought me. Karen in her speech talked about that, but it sort of reminded me then of what I used to do. And I've actually spoken to a couple of my associates since and said to them, because I know one woman has tried talking to people and gets sort of doesn't know what to say and then loses them. And I said, well, next time, I said, don't say much, just say, I don't know much about it, but I'll do a call. We'll do a call. I said, and give her my name and number and we'll set up something. So while it hasn't happened yet, but I've started to sort of implement that strategy again to get the three-way calls happening, and not just with my associates but with myself and Karen, because I think that works, and it worked for me before. So it just reminded me going through it again.
Awesome.
And can I say something else too?
Yeah, of course.
Ray Robbins just always inspires me. He just gets out there and talks to people, and when we thought about it, he's Karen and I, and you would have been the same when you went through, stuck in this big line to get through customs and everything. How many people do you have around you that you could talk to?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, that's right. How many people did you just
pass? It's a matter of getting over yourself and making a conversation with people. And I don't mean that you blurt out straight away or anything, but get talking to people, get a conversation about anything started, and you just don't know where it leads to.
Correct.
So, So plan B.
Well said, Sandy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Christine, what was your one takeaway?
My one takeaway was the bug that I got when I got home. Thank you to the man that I sat next to on the way home. But how sick would I have been if I wasn't dosed up on Mannatech and came home to extra Immunostart, which I bought there. So, just all fun aside, my real takeaway was the magnificent people that are involved in Mannatech, and that's local, like, in our own community or in Australia, but the new friendships and of course connecting with the old friendships that were made the last time or the time before or the time before. They say if you build a relationship, you build a business. Well, Mannatech is very much a relationship business. So thank you to all those people that I travelled to MannaFest with. It was lovely.
Good on you, Christine.
Awesome. Robin, what was your one takeaway?
Well, after 23 years in Mannatech, my one take is that the basic science never changes. And that gave me great confidence. I've always had the confidence in the products because of my own experience, but just hearing again Dr. Nugent and Dr. Marcia Thingy and that other guy was from America, they made me realise that the basic science never changes. All that happens is it's added to or built upon. And that really cemented me, because I thought we've got something that can last forever and ever, because it's foundational for human life. So I guess it was just a reconfirmation of how blessed we are to know of this scientific achievement. And it's not just selling somebody a vitamin or a mineral that they can go and get somewhere else.
No.
It's something completely different. And that really just encouraged me to know, yes, I'm on the right track.
Brilliant. Awesome. Vincent, what was your one takeaway?
I think
Oh, he's frozen.
Okay, Avalon, I'll throw it over to you. What was your one takeaway?
I really liked what, I'm going to steal it from Leonie van der Linde. I just really loved what she said in the breakout session, which is when people ask her, what are you selling? And she said, I'm selling hope for better health, hope for financial freedom, or the absolute freedom that financial freedom gives you, and hope for living a life of importance or a life of significance. Significance, yeah. And I tell you, there's people at my work where I'm still working full time, and they make themselves feel very important in their jobs, because people crave that. They want to feel important and feel like what they are doing matters. Maybe they're just directing their energy into things that aren't that wonderful. So I think that's a really big thing that I want to focus on too. Not just selling products, we're selling a few things.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you.
That.
Vincent, sorry. You're back with us now?
Yeah, sorry, I don't know, internet just dropped. The number one thing for me is to always go near the limit but never cross it. Like, that sentence really resonates with me. We always want to be, give the best that we can, but don't go off. So that's one motive that I will take, even in the way we do our business, in the way we build our system. Try as best as we can. Don't give up. If you're shying away, still remember, hey, is this your limit? No, it's probably not, because you do need to do that. But never cross it. That's one thing. Shifting the mindset, I think, is the biggest one.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Bella, what was your one takeaway?
Okay, so mine is I really felt energy from the event. So I couldn't feel why we had to get it together. Actually, on the way to America, I was very, very tired. And then Mana Boom and our products helped me a lot to, to arrive at the hotel. But I had a feeling of, oh, wow, if this is not because of work, I probably wouldn't, put this effort. That was something that I was thinking, because I feel like this is a lot, to fly, 19, 20 hours like that. However, my mind totally changed on the way back to Australia. I felt energy. I felt, inspiration, because I feel like, the event gave us the opportunity to get connected, reconnected with those people that we could only see over Zoom meeting, and we could see those people in person, and we learned from them. We could hug them, and that gave me a lot of energy to restart the business. And then also with the M5M meals packing, I finally could touch and feel what are we doing. I know we really donate to those malnourished kids, but I didn't know how does that run, what's inside. I just couldn't really, have a clear picture. But then I could even read the nutrition table at the back of that package, and there were a lot of vitamins and minerals included to nourish those kids. And then I could feel how important the activities that we do, and that gives me another motivation to go further, because the more I do, then the more kids will be nourished, and the more people will be joining this to get more nourished as well. So I appreciate the trip. I appreciate that I made the effort to go to US, and of course in the future, if there's any destination events like that, I'll definitely put all my efforts to achieve it, and I'll be there for sure.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. And Karen, you're lucky last. What was the one takeaway you had from the event?
Well, it's sort of a 2-in-1.
Okay.
The best fun, which really surprised me, was the M5M packing party. And I'll be honest, everyone has their different inspirations with Mannatech, what motivates them and inspires them. And M5M, even though I've been to the orphanages, it's never been a driving force for me. I mean, I love what we do, and I know we feed the kids because of our orders. But after that packing party, I felt quite different. Just for everyone who was in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lentils, rice, veggies.
Veggies.
Lentils, rice, veggies.
We even made a song up. So
it was
Bella
so
was on
funny.
lentils.
Yeah.
I was on bagging. And anyway, it was a big competition. You know, Nathan kept running around saying, South Africa's done more than you, Europe's done more than you. So we got another funnel, and we were just going flat out. We became very proficient factory workers by the end of that. Had our hair nets on and everything. Yeah. But that does dovetail into the biggest thing. And I'm sorry to repeat what Avalon said. My absolute heroine, and has been forever, is Leonie van der Linde. Louis and Leonie van der Linde got South Africa started under the most dire and most difficult circumstances. I was around when that happened. Just nightmare stuff. Products sitting on customs on the docks for months. People having paid for products and couldn't. We complain if we have a back order for 2 weeks, and you know that it was just a nightmare. And they're just amazing. Louis lost his life about a year ago now, I think it is. But Leonie was there still going. And Leonie is a 2-star platinum presidential. And that means that every month her business turns over in PV, not dollars, in PV, 1,250,000 PV every month. That's the size of her organisation. And that means that every month her organisation feeds 12,500 children with those meals we packaged.
Yeah.
And I feel emotional even saying this, but her message, as Avalon said on stage, she spoke, was the most profound for me, because her whole message is hope. You know, hope, as Avalon listed, hope for the children, hope for health, hope for financial freedom. And if anyone's needed financial support, the South Africans have. You know, they've had it pretty tough over there, and they still do. So she just inspires me, and she was a world famous tennis coach. She trained many champion tennis players. So she's a coach and trainer by instinct, and I feel that's what my calling is too. So I've come back, you know, really to train people in leadership. That's you know, I'm going to be Australia's Leonie van der Linde.
Perfect.
Perfect. And we've got Elevate coming up, which is again 2 amazing South Africans who we spent time with, who are so beautiful. Quinton.
Yeah.
And that is a leadership training. So I feel this is where we really need to go. And I put my hand up. I'm energized like I've never been before. You know, starting again with 23 years experience.
And can I just say too that all the leaders that were there that spoke on stage, and all the South Africans, that what was overwhelming about all of them was how humble they all were. There was no ego or arrogance or self-importance. They were just all so humble, so grateful, so much gratitude for their upline, and just it was beautiful. It was really, really nice energy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I hope everyone's coming to Elevate.
So my main takeaway was excitement. I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely. And so my one takeaway from it was the fact that I heard them use the word momentum several times in several different speeches. So I thought, yeah, we're on the right track. Yes. So, and the fact that everyone was just so happy to share. It is such a community. We have such a brilliant community here. So, yeah, exciting. Oh, I got goosebumps.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Well, that is it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Because we are over 8 o'clock, I don't want to keep too much longer. But yeah, hopefully there are little nitbits in there that you may have picked up on that you could use in your own business. But for more in-depth information and on, you know, lots of different things, you want to come to Elevate, because there will be lots of that there. Okay.
Nearly there. I'm nearly there.
Nearly there. Yes. Perfect. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, guys. I'll let you go. Have a great night.
Thank you very much,
guys.